Magandang araw, Podmates! Howie Severino muli na nagpapaalala na nakakatalino ang mahabang attention span. Carlos Yulo, the Philippines double gold medalist at the Paris Olympics, is the man of the moment, bringing glory to the nation. But the glory has been mixed with a lot of gory details about family conflict. Conflict naman and disagreement are no stranger to nearly all families. No one is immune. But Carlos and his mom and girlfriend have been embroiled in something that is very high profile, and everyone can't help but talk about it and pay attention. No? So our guest today is a clinical psychologist who will try to put whatever family dramas we're reading about and watching in context, and perhaps help us understand our own family relationships. No? Dr. Ana Tuazon has her own podcast and writes a newspaper column. Magandang araw sa iyo, Dr. Ana Tuazon.
Magandang araw, Howie.
First, Doc, congratulations. I know you have a baby boy, Pablo, your firstborn. 9 months na ngayon, no?
Yes, 9 months. Makulit na, malikot.
Okay, Doc, I'm a parent myself. I know becoming a parent changes everyone. But has it also changed the way you do your job and the way you approach patients? How has it affected you as a professional?
It definitely changed me. I definitely have more compassion now for parents. Naiintindihan ko na that there are certain expectations we have of parents na minsan medyo mahirap abutin, mahirap makamit, no? And I realized how very human moms can be, as personally speaking, di ba? Our patients are limited, we have fears, may mga anxieties tayo. So I'd like to think I gained more compassion to the point that I actually wrote about it in my column na parang I felt kind of bad now for how I was advising some parents in the past kasi feeling ko nagkulang. No? Medyo nagkulang yung compassion na parang madaling sabihin kung ano yung dapat gawin when in reality, di ba, it's much more complicated talaga in real life.
I'm sure you knew even before becoming a parent that parenting is hard, di ba? But now that you're a parent, have you concluded it's even harder than you thought? Ano bang, paano
Yeah.
nagbago yung tanong mo doon?
In a way, definitely, di ba, my training really helped. Pagdating sa mga mental health stuff, development, parang hindi ako masyadong takot doon. Like, alam ko na what I need to do with my baby. Pero siguro the other stuff that I'm not very familiar with, di ba, the physical, the medical stuff, the nutrition. So yun talaga yung nagbago. And I think what I didn't realize was how relentless it is to be a parent. Diba? It never turns off. And you have grown up children and diba? It's never done. You never have a day off. So what it means to have something that's forever, that's relentless, that's so permanent. I think that's something I wasn't really anticipating at a very visceral level.
Well, so you're a mother, and there is a mother in the news, no, a mother of a much older child. I'm talking, of course, about the Carlos Yulo family drama, which has unfolded, on social media, then on television, etc. Amidst, the big one of the biggest sporting triumphs in Philippine history. Diba? So, lumaban doon sa mga medalya ni Yulo, yung bali-balita tungkol sa pamilya niya. No? I mean, before I ask you anything specific, what's your general take on it?
One, it's sad all around. Nobody really wins. Yun yung problema, I think, now that it's become so public. It's become something like people are taking sides, di ba? Parang team this and team that, and someone saying, oh, ito siya ang tama, siya ang mali. And in a family, hindi talaga yun helpful, actually. Now, in a family therapy context, in a couples therapy context, no? Starting with di ba, that stance, ako ang tama, siya ang mali. It's not helpful. It hurts the family.
When you were reading about this, thinking about it, um, did it, is it, how common is this? I mean, napaisip ka ba tungkol sa mga pasyente mo? I mean, how unique or common
Yeah.
is their situation aside from the fact that he's a world-class athlete? No, let's set that aside. Yung itong basically, in case some listeners just came from Mars and don't know what's going on, no, a lot of it is about money, di ba? Carlos Yulo did not grow up wealthy, no, and you assume that the family still has a lot of needs, no, and all of a sudden Carlos has become the most successful member of the family, both in sports and financially. So may fair expectation ba yung pamilya na mag-share siya? And what attitudes should both sides be taking?
Mm-mm. So yung unang tanong, Mahawi, di ba, is this more common than we think? And I think, in a way, di ba, pag meron talaga nag-viral, may nag-capture ng imagination ng mga Pinoy na personal story, it's because nag-resonate sa kanila. So not just among my clients, but among my friends, di ba? And among the guests of our show, actually, ang dami dyan yung burdens of being expected to be a breadwinner. So yun, di ba? Sabi mo nga parang merong breadwinner culture tayo, meron din tayong balato culture, di ba? So if you come into some money, nanalo ka ng loto, or umangat ka sa buhay, dapat isama mo lahat. So may mga ganong expectations. At the same time, di ba, parang at least on my end, yung mga narinig ko, yung burden nga, na parang teka, to what expense? Di ba, okay lang naman umangat tayong lahat. Pero kung ako mismo, ako mismo na ang nadedehado, maybe ako na yung naloloko, di ba? Medyo baka nagkakaroon ng question ng respect and honesty. Parang hanggang saan? Hanggang saan tayo, di ba, magiging generous as a breadwinner?
Uh, some people have said that there's also a class issue here because a lot of world-class athletes from the Philippines, or even just very good athletes from the Philippines, come from well-off families, no? Kasi their
Mm.
families were able to afford nutrition, good coaching, good schools, overseas competition, and all of that, no? So it would be, this kind of drama may not have occurred if he had belonged to a middle class or upper class family. I don't know. To what extent does that make any sense? Or is this something
Mm-mm.
much more universal than that?
Yeah, parang actually narinig ko na yung parang argument na parang the expectation nga differ. Siyempre, sa pangangailangan, kasi kung hindi na kailangan ng pamilya, di ba, the expectation isn't so set or solid. But I think it's doing a disservice though, di ba? To put all that set of behaviors and set of interactions in a relationship dahil lang sa social class or dahil lang sa socioeconomic status. Kasi hindi naman, 'di ba? Hindi naman porque mahirap ka, hindi na kayo nag-uusap ng matino, hindi na kayo nagpapaalam sa isa't isa, 'di ba? You're not hindi porque mahirap ka, hindi na kayo 'di ba? Nag-uusap about okay, paano natin 'to gagawin? 'Di ba? How are we going to do this? If anything, as I said earlier, parang I don't want to analyze, but at the very core of it, di ba, merong lack of communication ang nangyari. Yun na yun. To put it, di ba, very, very mildly, ang problema talaga, hindi nag-usap ng matino. So, hindi naman yun, di ba, hindi yun mahirap para sa mahirap. Parang nag-uusap naman actually. If anything, sometimes ang mga poorer families, 'di ba, they have to problem solve together. Hindi naman necessarily mag-isa. So I don't want to bank it too much on that. Although obviously it's a factor. Kasi it's a factor na okay, nag-outweigh kailangan na talaga. 'Di ba? Kailangan talaga, kailangan ng pamilya. So factor din siya. Pero well, at least from what I read, no, in the news, the issue wasn't about do we give money or not. Di ba ang issue, at least Kaloy said, no, in his own parang direct statement, ang issue niya, hindi nagpaalam. So again, for me, again, from a family therapy lens, hindi nag-communicate. Kaya nagkaka-misunderstanding.
Yeah. And of course, the mother denied that as well. No, I mean, just to give the other side. So we don't really know. But obviously, may communication problem because, kumbaga, yung dirty laundry ng pamilya lumabas sa social media. Kaya naging balita, di ba? Kasi kung sumunod lang doon sa advice mo na mag-usap na lang sa, privately, as a family, etc., hindi na kailangan ibulgar sa buong mundo, no? We wouldn't even be talking about it right now, and they might even have a happier family life, di ba? Pero I just want to go back to this itong obligation sa pamilya, no. I mean, one of the comments that I saw, ang daming nagko-komentaryo tungkol dito. No? Apparently, yun sabi mo nga, it resonates with a lot of people, because everyone's part of a family. Ang sabi ng isa ay, he started talking about his own burdens, and sabi niya, it's so tiring being my parents' retirement plan. So this is someone who is a professional, young professional with his own dreams, etc. But he's so bogged down with supporting his parents, his younger siblings. Ang laki ng pressure sa kanya. He can't take a vacation. He has to do all this overtime. So what do you think of, sometimes this attitude? Kasi you hear this, kaya lumaki yung population ng Pilipinas because there are a lot of families who look at their children as their retirement plan, supposedly. No, I don't know if that's a fair thing to say right now, but I saw that on Facebook, no? And parang investment, yun ang investment. Some people invest in land, some people invest in stock or whatever. There are other people who invest in children. So they have many children because they know that when they grow up, I even hear this from wealthy people. Di ba? Buti na lang, naging walo yung anak ko. And it's beyond money. It's also about time spent with them as elderly, etc. No, but yung ganon, is that a cultural thing among Filipinos, having that burden, that expectation? And how common is that? Na parang yung feeling na yon, na yung anak na pinaaral, pag nung nagtatrabaho na, feeling niya siya yung retirement plan ng magulang.
So maraming cultural values that's hitting on this. One is utang na loob, diba? The culture of utang na loob. And of course, the bigger value na talagang makapamilya talaga tayong mga Pilipino. We value our family. Some scholars would say, hindi naman talaga tayo collectivistic, tribalistic tayo, di ba? We protect our family. Maybe not so much our countrymen, di ba? But we do protect, we're fiercely protective of our family. So, kung pinagsama mo yung value of family and utang na loob, that's when potential problems can come. Pero actually, and I don't know how much you want to get into this, kasi utang na loob as a core value isn't inherently toxic, Howie. Hindi naman siya inherently problematic. Utang na loob as an indigenous value is actually, it means hindi lang to transaction, and that is exactly what retirement plan thinking is. This is a transaction. I invested in you, right? And I need my payout. I need my payback at the end. So it's a very transactional relationship. Ang totoong utang na loob as part of Filipino values is that this is not merely a transaction, this is a relationship. So yung utang na loob, so kunyari, di ba tinulungan mo ako, Howie? Di ba? Tinulungan mo ako in a time of need. Hindi lang ito na, may utang na loob ako, babayaran ko to one time. Kasi transaction kung anong tinulong mo sa akin, yun ang ibabalik ko sa'yo. But utang na loob means because you helped me, diba, kapwa na tayo. This is now a valued relationship of mine and I will treat you, no, like family. Diba, parang ganon. So, I get really sad as a psychologist, no, psikolohiyang Pilipino, na parang nadidistort ang utang na loob. Utang na loob has become such a bad word, especially for young people now. Kasi ang nangyari, it became, di ba, parang na-distort siya into something transactional. Pinalaki kita, di ba? So now, alagaan mo ko in my later years. But that's not really what utang na loob is. I can go deeper into that baka pero masyado ng ano no. Masyadong geeky na. Um, so yun, no? So yun yung utang na loob. And so I hope people really understand what that means. So utang na loob is not something demanded, just like respect in a way, right? It is something that is forged through trust, no? Through trust and a bond. Now, yung makapamilya, syempre yung idea is, um, di ba, we like people who are family-oriented. Alam natin yan. Pag public person ka, di ba, kailangan talaga family-oriented ka. So, unfortunately, yun na nga, if you combine yung parang medyo transactional na utang na loob with family-orientedness, parang equals, di ba? That plus that equals, bigay mo lahat sa pamilya mo. Di ba? Ibigay mo lahat. I'm sure nakita mo tahawi, di ba? Maraming nagko-quote, honor thy mother and thy father in this conversation. So, nagkaroon pa ng religious value to it. So, but really, that's not how it's supposed to be. Di ba? Hindi porke parang mabait lang akong anak dahil binibigyan kita ng pera. Hindi rin maganda yon, di ba? Merong ibang ways. There should be many, many other ways we could show our love, our respect. So, yun eh. I know I got really into the values. So, yung sa breadwinner, sinasabi ko nga sa mga clients ko who are burdened by that. It's a big burden, di ba? Ikaw ang responsible. And the thing is, pag bata pa, yun yung sinasabi ko sa mga magulang, pag bata pa sila, allow them to dream. Give them a way to live out those dreams. Hindi yung, di ba may mga ibang pamilya naririnig ko na ayaw nila mag-asawa yung anak. Kasi 'di ba pag umalis ka na, yung asawa mo na yung paggagastusan mo. Hindi na kami. Pag umalis ka sa bahay, edi may paggagastusan mo na yung bahay mo, hindi yung sa amin. Yung ganon. So, hindi naman dapat. 'Di ba? So, it should be where, 'di ba, the child of his own volition, 'di ba? Because you want to honor your mother and your father. You want to care for them. And then the parents don't demand that care. But actually, sana ang umiigting is how much care they want to give each other instead of how much care they want to receive from each other.
Well, thank you. That's a good perspective. So, would you advise parents to just make sure that in their old age, as much as possible, nakapag-ipon sila? I mean, dapat walang assumptions na aalagaan sila ng mga anak nila. Make sure that you can cover your medical expenses. Kasi may mga tao na kahit may kaya, may assumption sila na aalagaan naman sila ng mga anak nila, kaya gagastusin nila yung on experience, magbabakasyon ng grande kasi marami naman silang anak. So ano yung how do you balance that? May tinuro kang values sa mga anak mo, utang na loob, honor thy father and mother, etc. But at the same time, you also want to allow them to dream, right? So would you advise the parents in those situations? I mean, just make sure that, as much as possible, independent kayo in your old age.
Yeah. So this is where iko-contradict ko sarili ko, Howie, kasi now this is where the socioeconomic status comes in. So I think, ay baka doon umaalma yung mga tao. Kasi pag sinabing, ay, mag-ipon ka lang. Make sure you have medical insurance, health insurance. In this country, that's so expensive if you don't have a company that's paying for that. So, siguro hindi lang ganun kasimple. Of course, it may means, di ba, kung kayang mag-ipon for yourself, to set up that that retirement life for you, set aside for health. Kung kaya yon, please do. Please do. That is another gift you can give to your children. Now, kung hindi naman kaya talaga, di ba, it's not like they're not trying. Nobody wants to not have money. So I'm sure they're trying their best, no, to be financially secure. Pag hindi kaya, at the very least, yung false dichotomy kasi, Howie, di ba? Na pagtutulungan mo pamilya mo, hindi mo na makakamit ang pangarap mo. Ang dami kong pasyente, Howie, ganun mag-isip. I have to give up my dreams to help my family. And minsan, Howie, hindi sila mahirap, ha? it doesn't have to be one or the other. So kung ako ngayon, as a new mom, no, if ever my son, helps me, I want to make sure it's not at his expense. So hindi ako ang magsasara ng pinto, no? Para sa kanya. So kung kailangan man tumulong at any point, 'di ba? Parang teka, medyo gipit, no? Gipit sa funds, gipit sa sa rent, sa utilities. Sige, tulong ka anak. And you make sure, anak, make sure may naiipon ka para sa sarili mo. And then make sure, kung adult na sila, 'di ba? If they want to carve out, seek their own spouse, start their own families, that we don't get in the way. I mean, not to say wala tayong pakialam, pero diba generally the idea, the principle of them having a life shouldn't be threatening to the parents. Yun lang. So pag medyo nate-threaten ng parents, uy, teka, nagkakabuhay siya na hindi ako kasama or hindi ako yung nasa sentro. Medyo, as parents, mag-reflect tayo. Teka, baka medyo hindi masyado ng type ang kapit natin. Kasi actually, di ba, ano bang magiging final grade natin as parents? If they can live the life that they want, be good people, be decent people, diba? And to have the life that they want. Ayaw natin na sila naghirap, tapos, diba, dahil sa atin. I think no parent wants that anyway, regardless.
Yeah, well, and sometimes the issue is not even money. It's like, okay, ipapamana mo yung family business. Diba? Kahit gusto maging painter or, journalist or whatever, yung anak, may negosyo yung pamilya, whether sa sari-sari store or a gasoline station or a big company, para may expectation na ito yung pamana ko sa'yo, this is a family legacy, you have to take care. Ang laki ng guilt trip, no? At least sa mga kilala ko, pag hindi nila tinupad yung ganong klaseng expectation, no? I mean, kahit okay, the parents don't need, they're financially independent, pero iba naman yung utang na loob pressure on the kids, no? Nasa ibang level, no? It's that similar, right?
Definitely, parang hindi breadwinner necessarily, pero 'di ba parang continue my legacy. 'Di ba? Parang continue either the family business or the family way of life. I've heard of that as well. And actually, I commend the parents who realize, wait, it's okay if my dream isn't their dream. Diba? Dream nyo yung negosyo na yon, dream nyo yung clinic na yon, kung ano man yung practice na ipapamana nyo. Actually, doon na lang ako natuwa. Parang, kahit nanay ako, talagang pro-child pa rin ako, at least. No, yeah, you have to realize, your dreams are not necessarily your children's dreams. If they happen to coincide, that's great. That's fantastic. Mas madali. Mas simple ang buhay. Now, if your child wants to explore something that you're not familiar with, I say let them, as long as, di ba, parang wala namang red flags, wala namang safety risks, etc. And then I've had to advise some people with that, yung my family business, etc. And I say, okay, maybe it's time to look at, di ba, professional managers, people who are actually competent. I'm sure there are very many competent people in your business. Ano yun, di ba, malaking transition yan sa mindset kung sa business naman.
Okay, balikan ko lang to si Carlos Yulo, no? Because we haven't talked about the other person in this drama. It's not just the son and the mother. There's a girlfriend, a partner, no? She's become controversial, probably without even wanting to be, no?
Yeah.
Okay, anong take mo doon? What's your reaction to her role in all of this?
Siguro, to be honest, ang first reaction ko, why is she the issue? Because I don't understand why, sabi mo nga, why she has become as infamous as she is. Kasi, nako, sana hindi ako maka-answer dito, Howie. Pero objectively, parang wala naman nakitang talagang masama. Maybe palaban and things like that. So, okay, what I'm seeing is, sabi ko, yung miscommunication nila. On the one side, someone is saying this is a money issue. Diba? This is a transparency issue, actually, not a money issue. This is a transparency issue. Yung sabi ng side, no, it's a girlfriend issue. It has nothing to do with the money. It's the girlfriend. So, wala tayo doon eh. Hindi natin alam kung ano talagang nangyayari. Hindi natin alam talaga yung konteksto. Pero at least from that, yung ganun lang, alam natin, they're fighting different battles, kaya walang nananalo at walang resolution. Di ba? Parang nag, parang, kunyari nagwawelga sa, sa Manila, si Mami. Si Carlos Yulo naman nasa Quezon Memorial Circle nagwawelga. So, hindi sila nag-uusap. Parang, di ba? They're fighting different battles. Um, so, ah, uh, girlfriends and mother-in-laws.
Well, yun na nga,
Oh my
okay,
goodness.
kasi that situation resonated in a different way, no? Wala dyan yung parental expectations, etc. Ano yan? That's also a common situation for a lot of families. Yung, in a way, tension between girlfriends and mothers, wives and mothers of the husband, etc. May minsan may competition, may jealousy, di ba? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this play out in a lot of different ways, no? Uh, so you see family situations like that, right? And what do you usually advise?
So, wala naman pang inherently, you should always side with this one. No, walang ganon. Kasi it really, really depends on context. In fact, parang tinatanong din ng friends ko, kung ikaw yan, di ba? Parang you're asked to choose, di ba? Between a parent and your partner, who would you choose? Sabi ko, ay, kung sino yung nagtanong. Sabi ko, kung sino yung nag-ultimatum sa akin. Di ba? Yun ang ima-minus points ko. Kasi I think that's the thing. Like, again, treating it from a family perspective, it shouldn't be someone that forces you to choose one or the other. Parang Solomon's baby to, no, Howie? If you think about it, parang, di ba? Who says you have to choose me or her, di ba? It's a version of that. And then someone says, wait, I don't want you to have to choose. So actually, if you get a person like that, di ba? Where I don't want you to have to choose, I want you to have them all. I want you to have us all. That's a keeper. Di ba? Yun ang keeper. And in a way, like, I know we have concerns as parents and we want what's best for our children. Pero yung giving ultimatums, di ba? Or kind of saying, kung nandiyan ka, di ba? Hindi kita kakausapin. I don't actually know what's going on with the family per se. Pero kung nagbigay ka ng parang hard line, di ba? Hiwalayan mo yan. Or hindi ko siya type. No? Hindi ko siya type. Type siya ng anak mo eh. So actually, ang mangyayari, di ba? Mapapalayo siya sa'yo. So what I advise parents, Howie, no matter, with this issue and other issues, is always choose the side where he will continue to listen to you. Diba? Always choose the route na meron ka pa ring influence sa kanya. Na you're still someone he trusts. Kaya actually, my own parents, they would admit to me once relationships are over. Sabi niya, ayaw namin magsalita eh. Kasi di ba alam namin, pag nagsalita kami ng negative, no, about your boyfriend, no, na mamasamain mo. Yun. So, dapat may konting, di ba, parang isipin mo, teklang, is this worth it? Kasi right now, in love pa eh. Guguluhin ko ba? If I really have concerns, I want to still be within that circle of trust ng anak ko. Para if something does happen and my son gets hurt, right? Or my son is on the verge of getting hurt, nandyan ako na para sumalo.
Okay, but as you know, most parents naman are well-intentioned, no? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes yung perception nila is the partner is not good for their child. Di ba? Could even be life-threatening. I mean, minsan ganun ang perception, di ba? Lalo na pag anak mo yung babae, right?
Mm.
There's a distrust. I mean, where do you draw the line? I mean, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Na, ayaw mo masyadong makialam because that's the love life of your child and that should be their decision, etc. But at the same time, as a parent, may natural instinct ka, no, to protect your
Mm-mm.
offspring and may threat perception ka eh. Di ba? How do you
Mm-mm.
communicate that?
Yeah. Um, Ako, when I imagine it, no, like, kung nangyari sa akin yon and I really don't like who Pablo is seeing, di ba? Parang isip ko, gusto ko siyang tanungin, anak, what do you like about her? Kasi Howie, yun talaga ako eh. I wanna be on the inside. I don't wanna risk being on the outside. Kasi lalo na kung may threat. Eh, tapos parang boy who cried wolf yan, di ba? Kung masyado ka mabilis. I would ask my son, parang, oh, tell me what you like about her. Di ba? Kasi baka naman meron akong hindi nakikita. And at the same time, makikita ko, bakit attached na attached siya despite all these red flags? Di ba? Um, and then, sort of, in a way, nasa palakihan eh, di ba? Parang, ano bang magandang partner? So, actually, in general, I encourage parents, no, to talk to their kids, even young kids, no, because they know what a boyfriend is, they know what dating is, to say, well, how can you be a good boyfriend, girlfriend? How do you know they're a good boyfriend, girlfriend to you? So, in other words, hindi ka magre-react pag nandyan na. Dapat before, before pa nagka-girlfriend, before nagka-boyfriend, medyo na-assess mo na kung well-placed ba yung, di ba, values, nakakakita ba ng red flags yung anak mo. Kasi kung ikaw lang nakikita, tapos siya hindi niya nakita, parang may na, di ba? May nawala again. So communication. Now, of course, this is when wala namang labag sa batas. Now, di ba, if they're, oh my God, drug dealer yan. O kaya mamamatay tao yan. Oh my God, binubugbog yung anak ko. Iba yon, right? If there are actually legit safety issues. But barring that, kung medyo personality differences, some value differences na hindi naman ganun hindi naman illegal values yung gusto ng isa, mas okay nang alamin mo, intindihin mo, pag before you try to make an intervention. And you can make an intervention to, di ba, sa child mo. Before you make an intervention, you better really, really, really understand that mahal na mahal ng anak. Kasi pag hindi mo pa naintindihan and you attempt an intervention, ano sasabihin ng anak? You don't understand. You don't know her. O di wala, talo ka. So, para sa akin, it's really just about being pragmatic and effective.
Well, just going back to Carlos Yulo's case, no? I mean, putting his family situation in a more positive light, despite the drama and the stress, I'm sure he was under a lot of stress, no? Because of this, he still won 2 golds, no? And then he also had a problem with his coach. He had, there were financial issues, etc. I mean, so many people are amazed that parang nakiki-gym lang siya doon sa ibang athletes, no? I mean, he was really disadvantaged in the lead up to the Olympics, no? And to a great extent, he was crediting his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because you need to be strong, no? To achieve anything that great, no? I mean, you have to be mentally strong, no? Psychologically, very stable, and not just physically, So, so that's a credit to him, diba? And he was able to compartmentalize, but I don't know. I mean, what's your take on that? Is it possible to compartmentalize? I mean, meron kang malaking family issue and then you're in the middle of this quest na dapat single-minded ka, but there's all this noise and distraction. Obviously, Carlos proved that hindi naging balakid yon, no? Of course, he was also probably very lucky, etc. But where should the credit go? To Carlos, to his girlfriend, to to his coaching? Ano bang?
Yeah.
What's your reading of that?
Thank you for asking that. Kasi actually, in all this sort of drama that's out there, parang sabi ko, parang people are assuming walang agency si si Kaloy for himself, right? Like he didn't make, his own choices, that he was being influenced one way or the other. And for me, I mean, oh my gosh, the biggest credit should be him. He's the one that did all that. He's the one he didn't just do physical gymnastics, he did mental gymnastics to get to where he is, diba?
Emotional din, no?
Yeah, definitely. And in a way, I think that yung mga professional athletes, yung high-level athletes, magaling dyan. Every high-level athlete will tell you, no? Physical kaya yan eh. Daan sa workout, daan sa training, daan sa conditioning. Sa mental, nagkakatalo. Yung that mind game that happens when you're there. The moment you second guess yourself, nako, lalo na in a sport like gymnastics, you can fall. You can stumble. Diba? The moment you get distracted. So I think the sport helped him, if that makes sense. Well, I don't know exactly. Pero di ba, I could imagine that the sport, having that mindset of an athlete, helped him focus, di ba, with all the chaos and all the noise around. So yeah, like for me, the biggest credit should be him, the one who actually achieved the two gold medals. Of course, my gosh, hindi naman limited ang credit, di ba? Yun yung inaano ko eh. There can be credit all around. It's not just this one person, this other person. It's not just one coach or this coach. Di ba? I'm sure every person along the way has helped him. But let's not forget, he did this himself. Like it was his actions, his behavior, his performance that led to this achievement.
And I think that's a great note to end on. You know, I know you have more important duties right now, Doc. No, so thank you for sharing your time and your really important perspective on all of this. I understand it better now, and I feel more comfortable even about my own relationship. So maraming salamat, Dr. Ana Tuazon, podcaster, writer, newspaper columnist, and clinical psychologist. Mabuhay ka. Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much, Howie, for having me.
Hi, I'm Howie Severino. Check out the Howie Severino podcast. New episodes will stream every Thursday. Listen for free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other platforms.